Panthers hoping to pull even.
Score, Lundell!
Before the Stanley Cup Finals heads to Sunrise. A second migrant flight lands in Northern California.
They're human beings, they're people with families.
And there's a Florida connection. A mother shot after a neighborhood feud.
And we do know that our shooter was engaged with the children.
Will Stand Your Ground be the defense? And Apple unveils a long-awaited new device. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Hawa Ezel.
I'm Kelly Sanchez. Today is Tuesday, June 6, 2023.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Investigators are calling it a feud between neighbors that turned fatal. A community is in mourning today after a Florida mother was shot and killed during an argument with a neighbor. Reporter Catherine Silver from WKMG has the details.
Bullet holes are visible in the door deputies say a woman shot through Friday night, killing a mother after a confrontation involving her kids.
And we want to ensure that we get the facts right, especially in a case to this level. Sheriff
Billy Woods addressing the pressure from the community to make an arrest in the days after the shooting. He says an ongoing feud between the shooter and victim, A.J. Owens, led investigators to the Quail Run neighborhood.
Whatever the children were doing, we do know that our shooter was engaged with the children. However, whether it be she was yelling at them, don't know yet.
Owens' own family shared their side of the story, gathered at this church in Ocala on Monday.
She took a personal item, iPad, tablet, electronic device that belonged to a child. He tried to retrieve it. She threw skates at him.
Pamela Diaz says her grandkids told their mom what happened. When she showed up at the door, she was shot.
Her children ran to my house, banging on the door, asking for us to call the police.
Ashley Remy lives across the street from the field where the kids were playing.
This woman has taunted all of our children in this neighborhood.
The sheriff acknowledged there is a history of calls. He says much is still under investigation. He is asking for patience for the children who he says witnessed their mother being shot.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out for my mother.
One little boy shared a few words in the aftermath, thanking the community and remembering a woman whose death has left 4 children without their mother.
What I'm asking is for justice. Justice for my daughter.
I did ask the victim's family what justice looks like to them. They said the first step is an arrest. To be clear, the sheriff's office has not named the shooter and their investigation is ongoing. They tell me they are working closely with the state attorney's office and the facts will lead them to the outcome. In Marion County, I'm Catherine Silver, getting results, News 6.
This morning, Governor Ron DeSantis is suspected of sending another plane of migrants to a sanctuary city. Caplin's Kenya Cardone has more from the Control Center.
Challenges at the border continue, and you may recall last year when DeSantis flew migrants to Martha's Vineyard without notice. Just a few days ago, a plane of migrants landed in Sacramento, and the California governor suspects it to be another DeSantis operation. Nearly 36 migrants have arrived in Sacramento since Friday. The first group arrived by private jet from Venezuela and Colombia, according to a nonprofit group.
They're human beings. They're people with families. There's some young people, that are just trying to support or make a life for themselves. There's people who left their children behind.
The second group, carrying 20 migrants, came Monday on this private plane from Texas, which California officials believe was sent by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
His willingness to treat human beings, people, as political pawns. It's wrong, and we are getting to the bottom of it.
DeSantis, who recently announced he's running for president in 2024, says he's been cracking down on illegal immigration in his state.
We have banned sanctuary cities. We're cracking down on human smuggling. We've sent National Guard to the border to help with what's going on down there, and we even sent illegal aliens to beautiful Martha's Vineyard.
California Governor Gavin Newsom tweeted Monday calling DeSantis a, quote, small, pathetic man for his alleged role in sending migrants to the Golden State. Meanwhile, local and state officials say they'll be providing assistance.
The people who are scared, who are vulnerable, who are flown here, they will be well cared for.
Newsom says the details about who paid to fly the migrants to California and if they were misled with false promises will be investigated. In the Control Center, I'm Kenya Cardone, Caplin News.
Today, Texas authorities are recommending criminal charges in connection with the migrant flights to Martha's Vineyard. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office released a statement yesterday that it recommended charges, both misdemeanor and felony, of unlawful restraint. This comes after 50 migrants were flown to Martha's Vineyard from San Antonio last fall. The Sheriff's Office opened an investigation in September after the fact, and they have not yet specified who they intend to charge.
Today, new details unfold after an unresponsive plane heading to D.C. scrambled fighter jets and ended in a deadly crash. Reporter Gloria Tasmino has the story.
The wreckage is highly fragmented and in very rural and mountainous terrain, and it'll be a very challenging accident site.
Investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board are beginning to sift through the site of a fatal airplane crash in a rural part of Virginia.
The biggest frustration out of all that was finding the location and trying to gain access to it.
Investigators are looking into why the small aircraft became unresponsive mid-flight, missed its destination, and then turned back, eventually plunging to the ground, killing all 4 passengers on board, according to the FAA.
The airplane, the engines, the weather conditions, pilot qualifications, the maintenance records, all aspects will be, of course, items that we routinely look at.
FAA records show the aircraft is registered to a Florida-based company. John Rumpel, whose wife Barbara is listed as the president of the company, told the New York Times his daughter, a 2-year-old granddaughter, and her nanny were on the plane returning home to New York from North Carolina. Officials say as the plane flew over the U.S. Capital Region on Sunday, the pilot was unresponsive. As military fighter jets rushed to intercept the aircraft,
that's when you heard the sonic booms.
The sound shaking homes and shocking people across the area.
The house rocked, the windows rattled, and it was done like that. Obviously freaked out a little bit.
I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
The officials said they expect to be on site for at least 3 days. Once the wreckage is moved to a secure facility, the agency will issue a preliminary report within 10 days.
Cyber meets space in the latest mission launch from Florida's Space Coast. Yesterday at the Kennedy Space Center, satellites were launched by SpaceX and NASA in collaboration with the Air Force and Space Force. The satellites are being used to improve cybersecurity in space and in the Hack-A-Sat competition. A group of professionals will try and hack the satellites while they are in orbit.
This morning, Prince Harry is back in the UK to testify in a historic trial against British tabloids. The Duke of Sussex is making an incredibly rare public appearance today as he arrived at London's High Court. He is among dozens of high-profile figures who are suing the Mirror Group newspapers, claiming that their phones were hacked and other illicit means were taken to obtain private information.
Apple unveiled its latest product yesterday, a mixed reality headset called Apple Vision Pro. It is the latest, biggest new product launch in years and has already started a buzz in the tech world. In its promotional video, a person looks through the headset and sees app icons appear, and the device is controlled with the eyes, hands, and voice. The headset is coming to users next year, starting at $3,500.
The Marlins are on a hot streak as they try to extend their winning streak to 4 games.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
As they lost Ratko Gudas.
There's Duclair moving in front, stopped by Hill. They score, Lundell.
The house always wins in Vegas, but the next game for the Panthers will be back here in South Florida. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
A rough night for the Panthers in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Last night, the Panthers struggled to get going in Las Vegas for Game 2 of the Finley Stanley Cup Finals.
The Vegas Knights scored 7 goals, making this the worst game in the playoffs this year for the Panthers. Panthers All-Star Matthew Tkachuk scored once, but racked up 22 minutes of penalty time. The Panthers will return to South Florida to host the Knights for Game 3 this Thursday. The final score was Panthers 2, Vegas 7.
On the other hand, the Miami Marlins were able to make a 4-0 comeback against the Kansas City Royals here at home. Luis Arias drove in 2 runs and raised his major league leading average to .399. The final score was Royals 6, Marlins 9. The Marlins will play the Royals again today for the second time of their series at 6:40 p.m. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Bill is a family man. He invests his money wisely and provides a good life for his children. Just one problem. He often opens emails from senders he doesn't know, and his computer is not password protected. One day, Bill checked his bank account and 94% of malware attacks originate from emails. Don't be like Bill. Take your cybersecurity seriously.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Kelly Sanchez.
I'm Hawa Ezel. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.